They are pieces of crap. They take up too much bed space. I could build them for a fraction of the cost. They are a waste of money. They are way too much for recycled plastic. So that's just some of the negative comments I received during my last video that I did of the deck drawer system, the Gen 2s. Are they worth the hype? I received a lot more positive comments than negative. Everybody's organizational needs are different. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. On this episode, I want to go over the differences between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 deck drawer system. Are they worth the upgrade over Gen 1? The differences between the shorter drawers and the longer drawers based on your bed length of your truck. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you, would I buy this drawer system again for my pickup truck? Is it worth it? Stay tuned to the end. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the exterior before we get into the drawers themselves. So before you had ammo cans instead of the stash bins that we have now. And you can see here where the dividers in here, or the tray inserts, whatever you want to call them, you can see them here on the outside of the deck drawers. And before, the ammo cans was your actual support for the deck drawers. But now they got these vertical supports. You can see hitting right here. You got your center vert and you got the one on the right. So before you had the ammo cans, and like I said, that's what was supporting the deck drawers. So you're probably gonna say, well, what's the difference? They look exactly like the ammo can lids. Well, that's where you're wrong. Besides of actually having inserts now instead of just a stationary can, these are inserts that you can pull out if you want. You got a deeper one and a shallow one. And the reason for the two differences is because you have your wheel well back there. So obviously if you have a deeper insert, it would hit the wheel well. But these are removable inserts. And two of the biggest things over the ammo cans is that this is waterproof. You notice the top of my deck system here and the top of my lid here is wet because it's raining out. You notice the inside of my bins are completely dry. So that is one huge improvement over the ammo cans, is that this is now waterproof storage, and it's also lockable if you want to purchase the locks to go in here. I didn't get the locks because for what I keep in these stash bins, if somebody wants to get into them and take my straps, they need them more than me. But you can now have lockable waterproof storage, and the locks are really not that expensive. I just didn't choose to purchase them. So it gives you even more lockable storage and also waterproof, so you can put anything you want in here. You got them in all four corners. The system itself comes with two deep, two shallow that you can put in the front or wherever you want. I also purchased ones and put them in the back corners as well, just because why not, right? I mean, for the cost of them, to have two more deep and two more shallow inserts, it's another $50. Not a huge cost to have that much more storage. Those bins hold a lot of straps or a lot of hand tools, miscellaneous things, whatever you want. So to me, it's worth it to buy the extra actual stash bins for these. So lockable, waterproof, additional storage to your drawers. You also have tie downs. And I do have a little mat on here that I used to have in my truck before I actually put the drawer system in. I just kind of cut it and put it on top of the deck drawer system itself. You can purchase mats. They have other like self-sticky mats you can put on top of this as well, but I had this mat already, so yes, this doesn't come with the deck drawer system. I just had it in my previous vehicle. I just put it on just to keep things from sliding around and also protect the top of the drawer system. Anyway, you have tie downs now, which move around in any direction very easily. They never used to have the tie downs in the Gen 1. And what's cool about these tie downs are just not attached to plastic. They are tied into the actual cam buckles, cam straps, whatever these thingies are called, whatever you guys want to call them, that attach to your tie downs in your bed. Also attaches, I'm going to get in here on an angle, you can see attaches right to a metal frame, and that's attached to the insert that you put your screw in for your tie downs. So these tie downs are rated for the same support as most pickup trucks at your tie down points. So a lot of people complained before that when they put their deck drawer system in that they lost their tie downs. Now, depending on what vehicle you own, you could have tie downs via track up top. The Chevys here have actually 3 tie downs down the side, if you can see that. Sorry about the lighting, I'm inside because it's raining. So I didn't really lose a tie down, but it's nice having additional tie downs right on the bed of your, I guess you could say now, the bed of your truck, so you can actually just loop up and over and have it down low. Now they come with 4 tie downs. Most people put them in the 4 corners. There's also 2 more spots that you blank off that you can stick 2 additional or 4 additional tie down points. Or you can take the 4 tie down points that come with them and put them in the middle and blank off the ends. Most people are fine with the 4 tie downs, but with a lot of gear, you may want to purchase the additional tie downs, which I think are like 25 bucks. So once again, not an expensive option to add to your system, and with the free shipping, it's good to add these options on while you place your original order, so you don't have to pay for shipping after the fact. I probably should have bought more tie downs, but I'm not sure if I'm going to need them, but I may do it because of all the camping gear I'm going to keep in here from them sliding around, my gear sliding around basically. So you have tie downs, you have lockable stash bins. That's 2 huge improvements over Gen 1. Another improvement on the exterior of the deck drawers, which also come into play for the interior of your drawers, is there's better water, weather, dust proofing. And you can see the reason why, which you can't see here, but you can see in my install video, which I'll probably put at the end of this video. In the back of these drawers, there's a piece that goes, a bulkhead basically, goes across the back of the drawers. That keeps that air that usually circles inside your bed from intruding into the back side of the drawers, which the Gen 1, you kind of had intrusion, and you get some, fine dust inside your drawers, and a little bit of fine mist, maybe fine snow. And they've also changed the weather stripping, even though it looks the same. Pull out my drawer. You can see this side's not really completely set up yet, but I got some stuff in it. But this weather stripping here is also a little bit different than the Gen 1. Now I do have the longest drawers that Deck makes because I have a longer bed truck. I have a 6'6", 6'7", depending how you want to look at it, for the Chevy. So I have the longer bed, and this is also the longest drawer you can buy from Deck drawers, even if you have an 8-foot bed. They don't go all the way back just for engineering purposes. I guess you can have a complete system that goes 8 feet and a drawer sticking out, I guess 6 feet or whatever. It'd probably just, kind of not work right. So these are the longest drawers. So this kind of gives you an idea of how much stuff you can store in here. You may look at this and say there's not much in here, but there is. You just don't see it all, and I can jam a lot more in here. And I can also break up things individually, kind of like bigger stuff, because this is all I really need for the tools that I need to carry anymore, to change tires and do miscellaneous little things. And you can see I also have additional stuff all over my truck. Plenty of places to store things. I'm probably going to be adding more to this drawer. I'm just kind of got this set up for right now. Another complaint, speaking of drawers, is that these drawers did not extend far enough. Depending on which model you have, they extend 12 inches more than the previous drawers. So I can reach, which I'm going to kind of turn you here on an angle, so you can see back there, I can reach all the way to the back of my drawer just by standing on the side of my tailgate. I can reach all the way in the back. So you have a lot of little things in the back. You can reach back there and grab everything. So that's another huge improvement over Gen 1, is the extension of the drawers coming out 12 inches farther, depending on which model you have. So waterproof lockable stash bins over the ammo cans, integrated steel to steel connection tie downs, a longer drawer extension depending on which model you have. All the drawers extend farther, but it just depends how far they extend out based on your model. And better waterproofing, weatherproofing, dustproofing to the system. Speaking of the drawers as well, if you can see here, no, it doesn't come with carpet. I got a thin layer of self-stick carpet tile in here just because that's what I do. The drawers themselves are more squared off, and that's basically before they had a 6-degree draft. Now it's a 1-degree draft. These drawers are primarily a square drawer now. And as you see, I have one of the larger pack-out organizers in here, which weighs a ton, that fits in here with room to spare. Now, if you've had the deck drawer system before and you've had Milwaukee packouts in the drawer system, you could not get these things to sit flat. They would be up on an angle. It would fit in a drawer, but would sit on an angle, and you couldn't get as many in there. Now, this thing sits completely flat, and based on which organizer you use, whether it's DeWalt, Milwaukee, etc. If you had thinner organizers before, and even these thinner organizers before, you could only get 2 of them. Now you can get 3 of these. The ones I have here on the side of my truck, this size, you can get 2 of those to fit stacked on top of each other. Before, like I said, with this thing not being as squared off as it is, they would sit on an angle, the packouts, and you basically could only put like 1 on top of each other. Maybe a this size and the one I just showed you over there. Now, like I said, you can get 3 of these. You can get two of the ones I just showed you on the side there. I guess you could say the medium size ones, or you can get a large one here. And then they also have those pack outs that go on top of the rolling ones that would fit in there as well. So that's a huge improvement, that these drawers are now basically square. All of our toolboxes, everything that we own is, as far as tools and a lot of our camping gear, our fishing tackle boxes, they are square. So now you have more availability to put more gear in here. So you're getting 10% more storage with these drawers being squared off now over Gen 1. Another improvement over Gen 1 to Gen 2 is their actual toolboxes that they give you as part of the accessory kit when you order this drawers. So you get one drawer organizer, you get this toolbox, and this really big one. You get 2 dividers. I purchased another drawer organizer. You can see I don't have this set up, but this side over here is going to be for my camping gear. So this side is probably going to stay kind of bare, and I'm going to load stuff in as I go camping. I'm going to actually utilize the boxes that they provide. But these boxes, you can see now, are square as well. Before, we know what they used to look like. These are awesome toolboxes. They are super heavy duty. They're definitely better quality than Gen 1. And what the cool factor is about these two is that, when you load these toolboxes up, or a toolbox, it's like me trying to get that one out one-handed, they are heavy. Well, there's a lot of times you don't need to actually take the whole toolbox in, but you can come over here, you got this latch on top, squeeze it, and actually open the toolbox up, get what you need, leave the toolbox in here, and away you go. Same thing with the big one. You can open it up, lid opens up and stays in the toolbox in the drawer system itself without actually having to remove it. And these are waterproof, just like your first ones during the Gen 1, but they are definitely a better quality build. The seal is built in, even thicker than Gen 1, and overall these are just a better toolbox that they give you when you purchase the Gen 2 drawers. You got better toolboxes that they give to you, and you can purchase more of these, and you can see they're more squared off and you can fit more stuff in here. I'm probably going to have my camping utensils in here, a lot of small camping gear you need. I'm probably not going to leave this in here. I'm probably going to put my grill in here, put more camping gear here, and this is what I'm going to utilize this drawer for over here. And this is kind of like my tool drawers, things that I can use, hand tools that I need for kayak fishing, doing repairs to my kayak, and also going camping and changing a flat tire, which I recently just did that for my wife. I like keeping the floor jack with me and an impact gun. It's so much easier to change spare tires. So that is your biggest differences between the Gen 1 and Gen 2. It's just a lot better than Gen 1. That's a simple way of putting it. You got more storage, better waterproofing. See, waterproofing, lockable storage up top. Once again, you can lock the drawers if you need to, but you don't need to when your tailgate locks. Once you do that, even though there's a little void in here, people say, oh, there's that void. All you're getting is doing, that's about as far as you can get that drawer open with the tailgate up. You're not gonna get anything out of here. Maybe I'll get in there and grab one of my fuzzy hats. Hey, if you want one of my hats, you can take it. You're free advertising for me. So it's a lot better than Gen 1, in my opinion. All YouTube videos and people's opinion is just opinions. Everybody has different opinions. Real quick, we'll go over the differences between having the longer drawers and the shorter drawers. I've had both. The shorter drawer length, the drawer length itself of storage room that you have is 61 inches. I now have 72 inches. I have 6 feet of actual drawer storage, which is quite a bit. Now having the longer drawers, that's 11 inches more than having the shorter drawer. Obviously, you can't just go out and buy a new truck because you want longer drawers, but I'm just letting you know if you have a short bed to a long bed what you're getting. So short bed, you're getting 61 inches of actual drawer, and the longer drawers, you're getting 72 inches of internal depth here. So it's 11 inches more of storage. The drawer extension on the shorter drawers, you get 43 inches. On this one here, I get 54 inches of extension. So once again, you have 11 inches more of extension. The weight of the empty drawers having the shorter bed is 208 pounds. This drawer system here is empty, is 233 pounds, having the longer drawers for a longer bed truck. Now, just keep that in mind when it comes to payload of your vehicle. You're adding 233 pounds or 208 pounds of empty weight, plus the amount of gear you can put in here. This drawer system, just like Gen 1, can hold 200 pounds inside of each drawer. and 2,000 pounds on top. So, just keep that in mind. With payload of your vehicle, you're adding weight to it, so you're taking away from the payload of your truck. Not a big deal because we are truck users and we use our trucks. But just keep that in mind when it comes to also squat, levelness, etc. of your vehicle. Now, you can either add airbags, add a leaf, or adding a couple hundred pounds and maybe another couple hundred pounds of gear is not a big deal to your vehicle. But when you start getting a lot of weight in the bed of your truck, I know I'm getting off subject here, you just got to keep that in mind, because as your truck goes up, you're also going to be blinding the people that you're driving towards, and also worse handling. So I have the Sumo springs, SUMO, made by Super Springs International. Just Google that, you'll see what they are. They're basically a replacement for your bump stop. They are like basically an airbag, but with no air. You can drill holes in them. They are lifetime warranty, and that's what I have in here. I had to have different models based on how much you want to not have your truck squat, and an easy way of saying it. So just look that up if you want to add some support to the back of your truck. They're inexpensive. They're like $250 to $300. So just look that up real quick. But once again, just keep that in mind when it comes to the payload of your truck, that you are taking away at least a couple hundred pounds from the payload overall of your vehicle, adding the drawer system. Not a big deal. Now, would I buy these drawer systems again? And before I get into my opinions why I would or wouldn't, the short answer is yes. Because this is a new deck drawer Gen 2 system. I just purchased one about 9 to 10 months ago. I had a short bed Chevy 1500. It was the little baby Duramax diesel. It's probably one of the best diesel engines I've owned, being an inline 6, super smooth, thing purred like a kitten. But the EPA has ruined our modern diesels. That's a whole nother video I could get into for probably hours talking about that. The engine was great, the truck was great, but the after treatment system, the DEF on your diesels now to keep it EPA compliant, there's a lot of sensors to that. And from the beginning of that vehicle, and just to me, the new diesels now, you're rolling your dice. You're going to get one with no problems, or you're going to get one with a ton of problems when it comes to all the sensors in that. So I had to get rid of it because from the day I owned it, first week I've owned it, I had a check engine light, and every other month or every 2 months I had a check engine light on. I was going into limp mode. If you know about diesels, you know what I'm talking about. So basically, the amount of miles I travel, I didn't want to be out of state, the truck into limp mode. So you're pretty much stuck, and you have to get to a dealer that's close to where you are stranded, because you cannot drive that vehicle faster than 5 miles per hour. Obviously, you're not going to drive that on a highway or try to get home. I had to go back to gas as much as I hated to, but now I was fortunate enough, because most vehicles on the lot today are short bed for half tons, because that's the market, whatever. I was able to find one on the lot quickly with a longer bed, which I prefer. My next vehicle is probably going to be a 2500, maybe even an 8-foot bed, because I like the longer bed. So yes, I would purchase a deck drawer system again, because I did. So now I have the longer drawers. Is it worth the upgrade over Gen 1 to Gen 2? Personally, I've owned both. The Gen 1s work fine. I used to carry a lot of tools in there, but the Gen 2 is so much better over these small improvements. Just having this much more storage up top that's waterproof over the ammo cans that used to have. Being able to stick full-size pack-outs in here and able to store multiple ones is a huge difference for me. Now, if you currently have the Gen 1, I'm not saying go out and spend another $1,500-$1,600 on a Gen 2, but if you have the extra money and you are looking to improve your organization in your vehicle and carry more, and you're going to keep that vehicle longer, then I would actually buy a Gen 2 over the Gen 1 just for these differences. It is a huge difference going from a Gen 1 to Gen 2. You have to have it in person to understand what I'm talking about, but there's nothing wrong with the Gen 1s if you currently own them. They work. It's all opinions. Like I said at the beginning of this video, comments I got on my previous video, people were saying that they are a waste of money for recycled plastic. You could build them for a fraction of the cost. Yes, you can build a drawer system in the bed of your truck for a fraction of the cost out of plywood. Maybe put some gliders on it, but it's not waterproof. You're going to have to put like a cover on your truck or a cap. And if you're building a plywood box with wide drawers like this, most likely you're not going to be able to put 2,000 pounds on top of it if you're like a mason or something like that. if you don't cover the plywood, it's going to rot. It ain't going to last. The plywood you're going to have to put in sections to really cover over your wheel well. It's going to take you quite a while to do it right if you want them to last. So yes, you can build a drawer system for the fraction of the cost, but you are going to have to protect it somehow out of the elements. I don't care if you Line-X them, put stuff over it, maybe put a piece of metal over the top of it and Line-X it. You're still going to have the face of the drawer exposed. You're not going to be able to make it waterproof. These drawers have a lifetime warranty from normal wear and tear if you don't overload them. If your drawers break for any reason and you didn't overload the drawers, they are going to cover you. They're going to send you pieces, parts to fix your drawers, and you don't have to worry about it. Just don't be stupid. I had one guy comment, said, oh, he broke them when he was off-roading. To break these drawers off-roading, two things had to happen. Either you had the drawers overloaded. I wouldn't be jumping a truck with deck drawer system, with a deck drawer system in it. You could, I wouldn't. So he probably had a wheel snap. Who knows what he did? People sometimes don't think, right? Maybe he wasn't doing serious off-roading. But maybe something broke because it twisted, it torqued. I mean, it's still plastic, but they have a lifetime warranty. If you explain to them what happened, I guarantee you they're gonna give you a new piece or a new drawer or whatever to fix it. You got to be smart about it. Are they a waste of money for recycled plastic? No, because they are engineered right. They will last. Everybody's organizational needs are different. This may not work for you. Always gotta have a rice burner go by when I'm doing a video. These may not work for you. If you have large, bulky items, you may be better off with a cover and just throwing, kind of waterproof bins in the back of your truck. But I like having the drawers because A, I'm not climbing into the back of my truck. You could do a bed slide. Deck makes them, a whole bunch of other people make them. You could do a drawer slide, maybe that works for you. But these are specifically designed to keep you organized with a lot smaller parts. Even though I got a floor jack in here and some larger parts, I mean, you could have large things in here. But for me, being in the electrical trade, not as much in the field anymore, but still carry tools, being a kayak fisherman, getting into camping now, to me, the drawer systems are one of your best investments you can make. I purchased all 3 of my drawers. These were not given to me, so people can think that, oh, he's just doing this because Deck gave him drawers. No, I spent all this money on these drawers. I wish I had a long bed the first time, but I didn't. So I had to buy another set of drawers. It took me a little bit to save up to get into this new truck, which I've owned almost a year already. So it's taken me time to save up, but I did save up and, purchase another set of drawers. Maybe I'll stick with the same style truck down the line so I can just move drawers from truck to truck and save money down the line. But if I don't, I would buy another set of drawers. It may take me a little while to save up for it, but I will buy another set of drawers because it fits my style, fits my needs. They are not for everybody. So people can comment saying these things are pieces of junk. They take up too much bed space. Hey, I have a rack, so it kind of encapsulates my bed a little bit. Not a big deal. And even if I didn't have a rack on here, with the tie downs up top, strap it down. Don't be lazy. It works. These drawers are 12 inches tall. Most beds are, I think, like 20 inches tall to 21 inches tall, depending on what truck you have. So you still have 8 inches of room left, 7 inches of room. It's going to keep things from, it's not going to slide off the edge of your bed. Strap it down, guys. I mean, don't buy it and then say you hate it. You should have done some research. I had a guy say to me, these things are a waste of money. They should have told me that, or it would have been nice to know that you had to remove your bed liner to put the drawers system in. It's right on their website, guys. There is so much information on Deck's website. Go down. There's like a little part at the bottom of the drawers. It says important notes or something like that. It says it doesn't work with a Carbon Pro bed from GMC. It doesn't work with a drop-in bed liner. Just read. The information's there. So you can't badmouth a product because you didn't do the research. You didn't watch YouTube videos. Do your research. They're either going to work for you or they're not. You're going to like them or you're going to not like them. But just remember, when you buy them, what you are getting in for. You are going to lose bed height. If that's a problem for you, don't buy them. A drop-in bed liner, big deal. Take it out because your drawer's covering the bottom of your bed anyway. Your side walls really don't get damaged. Or do a spray-in bed liner. I don't know what to tell you. Or don't buy them. I'm going to stop it there, guys. Drop some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you have the deck drawer system? Do you regret buying them? Just leave me a comment, whether it's positive or negative. Like I said, these do not work for everybody. So do your research, watch YouTube videos, and don't be a boob. All right? Do your research. Check that website. Make sure they work for you. And I would buy them again and again and again because they work for me. So I will catch you guys next time. As always, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Be safe on the water out there, and I'll catch you guys on the water.